Good evening and welcome to Gaming with Scott presents Behind the Masks, a Southgate media production. In this series, our heroes remove their masks so that you, the listener, can learn more about the player behind the character. We discuss topics of interest and encourage our players to go off the rails and down the rabbit hole. We hope this helps our audience get to know us better. Discussions and insights begin just after this music. Alrighty. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Gaming with Scott. I'm here with John.
Hello.
Joshua.
What up?
Kelly.
Hello.
And Jason, the librarian-atarian.
Atarian.
He's a librarian-atarian. It's a thing.
And he's a devoted member of the Coast Guard, as I recall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah.
Coast Guard reservist.
The Girl Scout Coast Guard.
Hey, you shut your mouth about the Girl Scouts again. We talked about this earlier.
You shut your whore mouth.
What is this problem with the Girl Scouts?
So we were talking
idea.
about.
No
we
idea.
went. Notice I went political there right off.
You
the bat.
did.
We don't
You
need to
did.
go political there right off the bat. But ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Gaming with Scott. This is Behind the Masks, and the librarian-atarian asserted that the European Union was such that continental Europe, from a militaristic standpoint, was funded in defense terms sufficient that a troop of Girl Scouts could wander in and take over most countries.
Very true. This is a fact that I made, yes.
This is a fact.
No. I'm just saying.
So that's okay.
Absolutely.
Now, when you compare the European gross domestic product spent on military versus the United States.
That's a bit unfair. I mean,
We spend
We spend more than the next 26 nearest countries combined.
Yeah, we're
I thought it was 29, and the first 27 are allies, but whatever.
no, because China is like number 4.
It's somewhere in there.
But
3
we're-
or 4.
But we're still like three
And-
times what they
Well,
spend.
yeah. They have.
Because they have what we call a manpower military, where we have what we call a technological military. In a ground war, they win. Why? Because it's 300 million of them coming over here to kill 300 million of us.
Right, no, but what they do is basically they line up and they have men run at us until we run out of ammo.
Yeah, and then run out of men.
And then run out of men. Yeah, right.
Yeah, but we're not going to run
That's how
out
the
of,
Chinese are going to win, because
we're
they
not gonna
drowned
run
all
out-
their baby girls.
We're not going to run out of ammo. That's the whole point, though. We spend too much money.
Now,
You're
mind
dead.
you,
Also, they've
mind
got to get
you,
over here.
Ammo is always limited.
Now,
Now, that
I
is
just-
rule number 1 of war.
Also, they have to get over here,
You
too.
just pulled off the dead body. And ammo
Oh,
is
yeah.
always a plenty.
Mm.
I know that.
Well, when you go to a save point and there's lots of bodies that you can always... and never mind. I mean,
That's right.
When you see the
That's
save
right.
point load, you
Well,
know,
that's
you're
only,
like, oh, shit,
that's only
stop
if
that
you're
up.
using an AK-47 and you put your M16 down, though, right? Well, of course. You keep moving.
Also, they use
So
them
our
for
number 1 listenership is the United States of America. Our number 2 listenership is France.
Bonjour.
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 There
Very
goes
good.
the bakery.
Our number 3
like French
listenership
fries.
is actually China.
What?
Even though I just
Ni
said...
hao.
Ni hao, yes.
I love mandarins.
Ni hao, did you just say thank you?
Do you like
No,
one?
that's
I
shit.
like Mandarin.
Hello.
No,
Shit.
Ni hao.
Yeah,
Ni hao
delicious.
is... It's, ni hao.
Ni hao.
Yeah, it's a
Hey,
great.
you
Notice how
Yeah.
Godzilla never has like beaten up on China. He's always
No, because
taking out
China could
Japan.
take it. Right.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
I just
BS.
you think so?
Because Japan is not allowed to have a standing army, even though they have all those little
Oh,
wind-up
yes,
tanks.
They have a
are.
standing army.
Well, they are now. They are now.
are now.
No,
But
they've
back when,
had one for a while. They've had the Japanese defense
yes,
force.
but back,
like-
yes, but back
Yeah,
when
but-
Godzilla was attacking regularly, they did not.
Yeah,
Okay,
but Mothra always
they
came
have
from
the
West.
JDF, but
So I
in the
think they had
past
Mothra.
year, the JDF has been authorized to maintain a standing front forward
Doesn't
position.
that sound horrible?
very?
Yeah.
Because the last time Japan had a standing front forward position, things went very south.
And we're not going to get too political here, but our president, El Presidente, is what I call him sometimes.
The
For the
President
first
Trump.
time since he started.
Number 45.
President with small p. Right?
Sure,
Right?
sure.
For a number of reasons why that joke's
Small
funny.
peas, small hands, all of it.
Whatever.
Peas.
Whatever.
I
Tiny
refuse.
hands.
I
He
re-
does have tiny hands.
I
He
refuse
does.
to talk about
I've heard
45.
I've heard he only likes a little pee on his girls.
Whoa.
Potentially.
Whoa.
Potentially.
That's
Look
that
at John
Russian.
Kennedy.
Look at that. That was topical, wasn't it?
That was
It
topical.
was like an ointment. So the that's a topical cream. I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
apologize.
I got it.
So generally, no. I saw him the other day. It would look like he was. It was like one of those Michael Jordan pictures. It looked like he was palming a basketball. Right? It was a push pin. I was like, son of a bitch. Anyhow, it was terrible. It's got tiny hands. You know what they say about a guy with the small hands, right? You wear small gloves.
Make it look bigger.
Right. When he's down there servicing other. Whoa. All right. Well, we'll stop there. No. Where was I
you
going
guys
with this?
brought it up.
Where was I going with this?
At least he served. That's
You're
good.
upset
What?
that I mentioned that Girl Scouts could take over the
What?
European
He didn't
Union.
serve.
No, he serviced someone.
Do you know why Switzerland is neutral and stays that way?
Because they love chocolate, and who wants to
No,
see that go to
because
hell?
their standing
And
army
Hummers.
can kill any single force that came at them.
Yeah, the Swiss use halberds, bitch. They got reach.
They also have the high ground.
In a
I do have the high ground.
In a verbal dispute between the German and the Swiss prime ministers, the German prime minister said, "What is the 5,000-man Swiss army going to do against 10,000 of my best troops coming over the Alps?" And the Swiss prime minister said, "Shoot twice, then go home."
This is a
Oh, it's awesome.
Wow. Because you were like, well, don't the Swiss army, don't they just use halberds and, pole arms? And it was like, no, actually, they use the Spaz 20, which I was really like, whoa, okay.
well, and the snifty little knife.
Right, that too. Shoot twice and then go home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he really
he
said
say that?
it.
Yeah.
I think it was him
That
towards
is-
the German or the Russians.
I thought, notice the Germans, because Switzerland doesn't border with the
But
Russians.
you're right. But
So-
the number was
now I
different.
know
It was
why.
500,000
When
and
you-
a million.
No.
Minute you said the Germans. No,
Das Germans.
our lovely president decided to talk with the German lady. What's her name? Mackie Mackle.
Merkel.
Angela Merkel.
Angela Merkel.
Merkel. That's it.
the
Like
new-
the drug company Merck.
The leader of the free world now.
Whoa,
Yeah,
whoa.
basically.
So he told her, "Hey, we're not going to pay for your
Bullshit.
we're not going to pay for your army anymore."
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Totally bullshit.
And so nobody has told our presidente. I would love Mr. Trump. If you're listening, I would like to invite you to come on to the podcast because I have two questions for you. First was what happened the first time that Germany had a standing army. The second being what happened the second time. It's the same answer for both of them.
That is true.
Was they literally attacked everyone else, like all of them, and it's okay. I mean, those are not the questions I want to ask them. I want to be like, hey, this makes us better. Tell me why, Mr. Trump. You have a platform. Come be on our podcast, and we'll be like, yes, we will talk to you. We'll even have all the security and everything like that. We'll have you sit down and be like, tell us how, because this is the platform. This is the platform. Make America great again by giving Germany a standing army. I don't see it, but you might come here and try to convince me. I will. You know what? I will even round of applause afterwards. You have a mic. You have ears.
Please clap. Please
And-
clap.
And 25,000 listeners, or at least 25,000 followers that get our updates. Did you guys know that?
I did know that from a few
we
days
just
ago.
we just crested the 25,000 mark.
That's awesome.
Very pleased. Very happy with that. So politics notwithstanding, you just like librarians, don't you? They're hot. They've got glasses and the
They're not
little
bad.
you
There's a
line
lot
up
of
the seams
knowledge.
on the thing. Yeah, right. So you're a sapiosapient.
Sure. Whatever the hell that
No,
means.
You don't know
my
what that means?
God. You're-
No.
How can you be a
Jason,
librarianitarian
no.
if you don't know?
Jason is picky about his male
Although
librarians.
the
Oh,
girl
I
at the
saw
Geek
you.
Squad
I
appointment
saw
I
how
was
you
at
slipped
earlier,
that in there.
she was really nice.
Muscular
So Joshua, you know what sapiosapient means, correct?
no idea.
You're attracted
Wow.
to intelligence.
There it is. I knew Kelly couldn't hold on to that any longer. Yes.
boom.
If you
It's killing
find
me.
that deep, dark, moist
Oh, stop.
organ
Sticky.
that's just nestled right in between her ears. Oh, if you find that exceptionally
Yeah.
attractive, boom.
Look,
That's
I do-
what? Where did you think I was going
No,
with
he's
this?
right.
So foolish.
I had a
Holy-
Geek Squad appointment earlier today. There was a solid black 2-pixel wide line down my TV, still in warranty. Got to get that fixed.
No, can't have that.
So I went to the Geek Squad, and it was a nice young lady going to school for cybersecurity, and had a knowledge of music that was nearly on par with mine. And I don't know if you know anything about me, but I do love music, and I got a pretty vast encyclopedic
And
knowledge of
Kelly
the subject.
dropped his pants right there.
Did you throw your panties
I
on the
drooled,
stage?
man. I was drooling. And she had these pink horn rims on. It was,
Yeah, there you go.
suit shirt,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
looking like a Blues
yeah.
Brother with
Yeah.
purple horn or pink horn rims. Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
There it is. That's how a librarianitarian generally reacts to sapio. Yeah, sapiosapiens.
Sounds good.
That's what it is.
Nah.
It's wonderful. Smart women are sexy,
Hell yes,
Yeah.
they are.
right? And there it is. Right? Librarians,
very
right?
true.
That's what I'm saying.
Very true.
All right. Everyone should be able to date their own librarians. Isn't that what libertarians believe? That's what they believe. That's what I was told.
Just anything. Just anything.
Yeah. Yeah, very good. Alrighty.
I like it.
That was a conversation killer, wasn't it?
Nah.
I want that.
Yeah, it was.
love
It
it.
was.
I don't know. Libertarianism has its flaws, just like every other state of mind.
Whoa.
Yeah, like it's driven by Frank Rosa in our local area. Oh,
Well, hey, that's not necessarily a bad thing. No, don't be bound. I'm not against libertarianism. I believe that everybody has the
Fiscally
God-given
conservative.
right to wake up every morning, drink
Be wrong.
2/5 of Jack Daniels, smoke 2 cartons of cigarettes, and hit themselves in the head with a shovel. Whether or
shovel.
not I approve or not.
I'll even let him pick the color.
Isn't it great?
Yeah, pink.
And there we are. Boom. How about that?
I can't really say I have a political affiliation at all. So
Yeah? You just mass anarchist, kill them all, let God sort them out? No?
no.
Oh.
Leave me alone, and I'll leave you alone.
Sounds
hermit.
libertarian to me. Yeah?
It's I don't know if it's all that deep
legit.
because social nets are a good thing when their society is large enough to sustain them.
Oh, okay,
So who
fair
knows?
enough. All right. Joshua, how do you self-identify here?
Whatever.
You're not a politics guy?
Yeah.
you are.
Don't
And I
like
know
him.
you are.
Well, for the listeners, you should know that Josh does have a massive swastika on his head, and that
Oh my
his
God,
his
John,
arms are covered in.
Jesus.
I'm kidding.
I'm
Everybody
half
knows.
Jewish. That's horrible.
that was the irony. I thought
That's
you were going
horrible.
for. I thought you were going for just
The self-hating Jew
prophetically ironic.
Like
You know.
I shaved the swastika into my pubic hair just for shits and giggles.
Whoa. Okay.
No,
so
stop it.
here's the
I like
okay.
libertarians.
This is gonna either make people hate me or love me, and you can hate me now. It's okay. Yeah, you're all
Are
right.
you
Again,
a registered Republican?
Whoa. Let's not easy.
the day the effing music died, Kelly. Thanks.
God. So I grew out a mustache several years ago. Now, for those of you that know me or have seen Gaming with Scott, I have facial hair.
Mouton chops.
Yes, the chops le mouton, as the French would call it.
Skosh.
A little bit of, and they're full and beautiful. And Mary Carlton, you reached out and tugged on them just over a week ago.
Reach out and touch them.
Oh, yeah. Mary was like, can I pull on them? I was like, yeah, you can. So at one point, though, I tried to grow the mustache to bridge the mutton chops. I thought that would be cool, right? And then I divoted one of them, right? And I thought, so I shaved the mutton chops off, but I had the mustache left. And I was like, look, Magnum P.I. It was terrible. It was horrible. It wasn't even a good joke. It was like, it didn't work at all. Like, not even that little British butler guy could come out and save it, right?
Yeah.
So I shaved down both sides to here.
Oh, jeez.
Which, of course, we all know to be
See Heil.
the Hitler
The
stash.
Hitler stash.
Right, the Hitler stash. And stripped down to my skivvies and my black socks. And goose stepped around the apartment in front of my girlfriend, now my wife, going, Heil me, for about a half an hour, which she thought was hysterical. I will beep that out. I will edit that. That's perfectly fine.
No.
But I was like, Heil me. Heil me. Heil me. And she was like, oh, dear Lord, you need to go shave. And in between the howls of peeling laughter,
Oh my God.
because it was absurd. And
Yeah.
it was that John Cleese, like, full-on leg goose. It was terrible.
The
We
Ministry
howled
of
and we
Funny
laughed and we
Love.
laughed and we laughed. I was like, oh, I'll shave it off in the morning. Oh, and I go to bed. Everything's great. We'd had some adult beverages, but that might have been why it was a little funnier than we thought it would be. I wake up in the middle of the night to take a piss. I walk into the bathroom. I turn on the light. I look in the mirror and scare the shit out of myself. Because I was like, oh my God. And it was
That's
like
awesome.
Hitler was looking back at the thing. It was not fun. I went, oh my God. And right there, my wife comes out of she's like, oh God. And she runs in from the other room. And by that point, I had thrown just cold water on my face and took the razor and just wet shit. And I was.
It's great.
Oh.
She rounds the corner. I've got half of it like chiseled off of my face already with this look on my face like I just scared the living shit out of myself. And she rounded the corner and went, you thought you were Hitler, didn't you? And laughed her ass back off to the thing. I had to just shave it off that. I was just at. And
That's
then had the
horrible.
hardest time falling back to sleep. It was terrible. It was really a bad experience.
So when
like
you're-
I thought this will be
Hey.
funny, and it was horrible.
That mustache probably single-handedly caused the blizzard of '78.
Oh,
Could have
Just
been.
saying.
So
been.
when
That
you're
could
with
have been
your
a thing.
ladies, what do you
Yeah.
what do you guys drink when you're with your ladies? Like when I'm alone, I'll drink bourbon. When I'm with my
Bourbon.
lady, we'll drink rum and like limeade,
Horchata,
coconut rum and limeade.
Coconut rum and limeade?
Yeah,
I'm with you.
bottle of coconut rum, bottle of Simply Lime. Oh, just so good.
When I drink with my lady, I drink bourbon normally, and then
Yeah.
I drink bourbon because
Does she drink bourbon with you?
no,
What does she drink?
she doesn't drink.
Oh, shit. Okay, there you go.
Right, so that's like a thing.
That's it.
Because she doesn't normally drink because the American strain of yeast that is used in the majority of beers gives her a raging headache, like migraine hit in the head with a sledgehammer.
Oh, there you go.
So she needs to find either Belgian lambics or Flemish sours, which use a different strain of yeast
Yeah.
to make their beers, and she can drink those and nothing else.
What about you, Josh?
Bourbon, tequila with a chaser of cocaine sometimes. Keep it real.
There you go. That's why you
so-
have so much energy all the time. I figured it out.
You drink cocaine.
That's what he said, right?
Hey,
yeah.
you just
Just heat it up, put some water, you're good.
No, but just dump it in your alcohol, man. It doesn't dissolve.
Doesn't?
Put it on your
It doesn't.
PBJ.
It doesn't. It's not alcohol soluble.
Yeah, but alcohol has water in it.
It's
I
not
mean,
water soluble either.
Really?
Really?
What's
Unless-
it
didn't know
soluble?
that.
Unless the water's boiling, it can't break down the covalent bonds
Ah,
and properly cut.
Because I thought maybe a line rolled off onto
Something you need to know.
Cocaine?
onto some redhead's backside. Just
Now
I don't know which redhead.
That is the
I'll leave that
preferred
name
way
up
to
to
do
you.
cocaine.
Yeah, the stripper, yeah, right? There you go.
Oh, I was
No.
Oh, what?
If you're gonna do it off a stripper, do it off the top of their. That's probably one of the cleanest parts.
whoa!
You know what? I think
Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that bit of static you just heard was because somebody went off the deep end.
No.
I was setting up Kayla to get you in trouble when you got home, but
Love you,
woo,
hon.
you went to a
Yay.
place I didn't.
No. I would debate you that the most bacteria on a stripper's body would be the. Let's be real. Come on. Let's be real. Let's just come on. So I don't know how I got Dutch elm disease. It just happened. It's true.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you edit multiple streams out in Audacity. Thank you for listening in on the.
It sounds like one
How
of our
to edit
members uses the
out.
strip club a little differently than the other members. does.
Thank you. Right?
They have the best food.
I didn't understand.
What?
Strip clubs often have the best food
You like crab
Yeah.
legs?
because the chef there often loves his work. He doesn't feel like he's being like harassed because afterwards he just go and watch strippers. So he loves his job, and therefore it shows in the food. A lot of strip clubs I've been to, amazing food.
Yeah, but when you find a pubic hair in your lasagna, what then?
Well, you're probably
Well,
not
most good
because
strippers don't have
the
these
strippers
these
are on
days.
stage and.
Oh, you don't take your food to the rail. Oh,
Scott,
okay.
No, because they don't want you to like get like a pork tenderloin all over them.
Oh,
Scott, you
again, I've been doing it wrong.
That pork
Yeah,
tenderloin, though,
right.
that's a pure Indiana reference. You can't find those practically anywhere else.
Scott, you said you are on
Yes.
a high protein diet. Suck it up.
I am. Okay, I get you. I
You
see where
find
you're
it
going there.
squiggly. You just
No,
take one for the
Y'all,
team, man.
yeah. We have good times.
apparently. Wow.
No bourbon involved.
Yeah, none whatsoever. It was a very good
I
time.
like how everybody's looking at me like, how does John know that? It's like, what? I've been to
John is-
strip
I was
clubs.
gonna say,
Why?
you-
This
you-
is a thing.
You lay some knowledge here and there that we're just like, how does he? That's interesting.
Actually, when I was actually underage, I was working in a game store that was in Washington Square Mall. It was called Gamers, one of the many incarnations of Gamers.
Nice.
And the owner kept going on and on and on about the strip club we went to, and he kept going, and the Texas toast there, it's amazing. It's the best Texas toast. So when I
Was this Brad's for the
No,
lunch,
legs.
or was it Rio on the West Side? That's the only redeeming value of the West Side, by the way, is the Rio, because their lunch buffet
We
is
should,
phenomenal.
legs
John.
off Shadeland.
we should
Oh,
go there.
Gotcha. Right.
And no, just when I turned 18, that was a strip club I wanted to check out. And of course, after stuff,
Right.
then it's like, do you also sell food? Yeah, I'll order some food. I'll take the Texas toast. And no, you just eat, and
Was the Texas toast really that good?
it was really good. Like,
Was it nice and buttery?
Yeah.
You know,
Stop
I'm
it.
Yeah,
not
I will
really
admit-
Wow.
a big fan
I will
of strip
admit-
clubs,
my attention was
but I'll take
distracted.
a free breakfast buffet anytime.
Was it moist?
Oh, that's the worst
See?
word in the English language.
Did it melt in your mouth?
What? Cucumber, dude.
Stop it.
Did it break
I need
down
that
on your
shirt, by the
tongue?
way.
I have my artist working
When
on
we
it.
got everywhere.
Artist. You're so
Just got
hoity-toity.
everywhere.
Scott Troiano is so damn hoity-toity. I'm having my artist work on it.
Wait a minute. I took an artist out to Fogo de Chao to hand off our newest. We are going to be doing the -1 listener, I Supernova to God, the blah, 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 blah. Dr. Wells, Yardstick of Genocide.
Okay, I was going to say of Doom.
Cucumber Dude,
Yay.
-1 listener,
Yeah.
and inmates running the asylum.
Get together, make bad decisions. I like that one.
That's a possibility. So now we need ideas for the fantasy game for T-shirts.
Oh, no.
So we're going to have to think that up.
Well, the obvious is just Whittingham.
Whittingham! It's very nice. I like that.
We should-
I didn't even think about
Hey.
that. You know what? Whittingham.
Whittingham.
We should have a tuxedo shirt on the back say we didn't get dressed up for nothing.
Yeah.
Nice. Good reference. I see your callback
TM.
there.
Just
TM.
saying.
Nice.
We need a little SPJ or say SJP.
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 That's
there we
what
go.
I need.
There it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Rainbows, butterflies, and Sarah Jessica Parker.
Right there in the middle.
With a
golden
magnificent
mane.
mane.
Yep. I've already got
Swan
that picture. I've got that picture on my phone. Did you guys not see that?
Her with My Little Ponies. That'd be awesome.
That might be a little trademarky, but
Well,
my little
Some shitty looking ponies. I'm like,
Apocalypse.
my little gophers.
My Little Horses and Friends.
You know what we should get together one night and play? We should play some 40K.
Ooh, that might be.
I have never done miniatures because I don't paint
What?
and I
I
don't
don't
have
paint.
them.
I don't
but
paint either. My best friend paints mine because
All my Tyranids
I
are
would like
gray.
to play.
Be quiet.
I don't even know what
I don't
that
care.
meant.
I'll wreck your Tyranids.
Whatever.
Hey,
Shit.
I would seriously.
Have you
like-
read 8th edition? I will wreck your Tyranids.
No, I have not read 8th edition. I use
But
7
seriously,
or 6.
I would like to play. And
I would
actually
wreck
watch.
your Tyranids.
That'd be cool.
I
That'd be-
use the edition where I win.
Has the new Tyranid Codex come out yet?
No,
sort of.
the new index is out, and Tyranids are baller. But I play Space Marines, and I will wreck you.
Oh, you're going to try to wreck Tyranids with just Space Marines? Okay.
That's all I'll need.
What do you playing?
Oh,
Are you
no.
what are you playing?
White Scars Bikers.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
It would have been slightly more fitting if you would have gone Blood Angels.
No,
And that's okay.
don't play
I wanna-
Blood
I
Angels.
want to cross the board. I want to do 4 feet 6 inches in the first round.
I hate them.
I love them.
I love
I have
them.
2 armies: Tyranids and Blood
Blood
I
Angels.
hate Blood Angels.
I play
Like,
against.
literally, I could do 4
I
feet
can-
6 inches on round 1, turn 1.
Yeah.
We're done. And it's like, wait, what?
I have gotten to
and
the
that's
point,
not
though,
without. And that's without deep strike.
I would run my
It's like I
World
start
Eaters
on the
as Blood Angels.
Yeah.
That's a good idea too.
I start on the edge of the board. What? Yeah. Thanks for.
I can wreck Blood Angels these days. I play a guy who plays Blood Angels pretty much exclusively, and I've gotten up there where I can just
well,
stomp
and
them.
Blood Angels are easier to wreck than Tyranids.
And we've gone
Tyranids
down,
just
dude, I
holy
guarantee you, I could
shit,
tear your Tyranids apart with
we've
just
gone down the
just
rabbit hole.
Marines.
No idea.
no
at all.
Ordo Malleus, no Imperial
Okay.
Knights, nothing.
Really?
And I will
Warhammer
tear your
40K,
Tyranids apart.
Josh, is a
Really?
game.
Oh
Yeah.
no,
Where you
no,
take-
miniatures. Like I got that.
How many points are we talking here?
What do you want to do?
What do you want to do? I mean, we're talking like a standard 1,500, 1,000, 5. What do
you want to do? 10?
Do you want to 500 or are you talking 10,000 points?
10,000 points. I can shield 10,000 points of Marines.
I don't know if I have 10,000 points of
Okay,
Tyranids.
let's do 2,500 basic.
2,500.
Yeah. No Lords of War.
No Lords of War.
No Lords of War.
Okay, but you still know that with the Carnifex.
Your Carnifex is gone. I have the weapons to take it out. Round 1.
Okay.
Dude, you think I'm going to be a Space Marine player and not be able to play against everybody else? Because that's what they do.
Well, that is what they
Everybody
do.
else.
They're very generic.
Everybody else.
I mean, they're not generic. I don't want to say they're very generic.
Yeah.
Space Marines are actually a really good army.
if
and
I brought
you know
Salamanders, you'd have even more problems.
well, that's true. That's I
and
can't. I can't argue
they're
that.
my primary as Salamanders.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Flamers and Melters,
Well,
let's
now,
do this.
Yeah, now I don't feel nearly as confident as I did a second ago.
No,
but,
I
but
bet.
the problem is, I'm gonna just with 38 units with 38 models per unit.
Yeah.
Okay, and 8 to 12 units of just tie-up troops.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, you can't
Gone.
move. Yeah, but you'll get a round or two before it's like, and now
in the
we've
new edition,
swamped
you
you.
nothing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I can
Oh.
fall back.
Oh,
And
see.
since I carry Flamers, you've got no chance because they're auto hit and they do D6 damage.
Oh, well. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crap.
Okay. Yeah. It's you.
All right, well,
no chance.
that does sound decidedly less.
Now, your big models I'd have a problem with, but I
Right.
carry a lot of las weaponry and melta weaponry, so
Oh, well,
yeah. I
there
mean,
it
I'm
is.
good to go. Got flyers and stuff.
That's the only problem there is if you got Laz and Meltas, it comes down to, well, as long as you get enough shots, eventually you're going to hit. And it's a.
and I play, so I have plenty of shots.
Right. And the problem is kill the big ones first.
Oh, yeah.
That
Yeah.
sucks.
And that's we were in an apocalypse game, me and my best friend and my son,
And the one guy was playing Death Guard, brought 2 Reaver Titans and a Warhound Titan.
Nice.
My son had 1 Reaver Titan dead in the first round,
Oh, jeez.
1 Reaver Titan dead in the second round, and the Warhound dead by the third.
Wow.
All my son, period.
Now, wow.
Yeah. And he was
Yeah.
running lesser class Titans and just wiped him out.
That sucks.
Yeah.
All right, so now we've lost these two down at the end of the
Yeah,
table.
no
Our
idea.
apologies.
No
100%.
I heard like flamers and lasers and needing shots to take care of those.
That's about
Yeah.
it.
It's all right.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Nerds of a feather and all.
Hey, but I would
down
love
with
to
it.
see
Dude,
play
I'm telling
and
you,
play.
there's an Apocalypse game the last Sunday of every month at Family Time Games off Michigan Road and 86th Street. 4,000 points. Bring your best. We'll get you on a side. It'll be
Right.
great.
Cool.
All right.
We can bring some recording equipment, do a quick record, video, whatever we want.
So that's the idea. That's one of our next things. Hold on. All right, good. We're good. Where do we want to do? We want to open up to recording in a game store?
I'm down with that.
I would say yeah.
Yeah.
I think
That'd
that'd
be
be awesome.
cool.
Absolutely.
Where?
We could even rotate. So
right.
Well,
I
there's-
was thinking we could start at Saltier
the one over
cool.
there?
Yeah.
No.
over there.
Pendleton Pike.
Yeah, that's the
Pendleton
one I was
Pike,
thinking.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. That's a good one.
Mhm.
I like the one I was talking about over there on 86
On
or on
Michigan?
Michigan Road.
Yeah.
And then, of course, anyone on this side of town because I live on this side of town.
Right. And it's not exact. Even 86th in Michigan, guess what? Dent. I was looking at your forehead. It's not the west side.
You
No, it's
bastard.
not.
Right.
There isn't anything.
I mean,
What
we
side, of
gotta-
town, what
there's-
side of town you live on,
On the
Jason?
southeast. So right there off of Emerson and 465.
Oh, yeah.
There's
yeah,
that's
yeah,
easy.
Yeah.
There's a Comics Elite there.
Right.
There's Comic Book University on 31 on the south side.
Easy access
Those
to the
are all
highway.
places.
Whatever happened
nice
to the game store
people.
that was on Virginia Avenue in Fountain Square?
That's you mean the the
shut down.
library store? Is it gone?
No,
Yeah.
the library store is still there. I'm talking about the one that was up the road from it that had a cafe in it.
Oh, starts Arsenal Games.
Arsenal.
Yeah.
Closed a while back.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
So
They sold subpar food that made people sick, and then they charged a lot.
Really?
to
The
be
last
there.
time I was there, the food was really good, but that was like years and years and years ago.
Literally all their food came from Marsh. Like even like their potato salad was Marsh brand potato salad.
Wow.
and what I heard was that the food was becoming more and more and more and more and more subpar.
Uh-huh.
And they were getting more and more and more and more pissed off having to serve it.
Right.
That they were like, oh, these gamers, they keep coming in and wanting us to feed them, and they keep paying us money to give them food, and it's such a hassle. We just want a game store that just they come in and buy their games or they play, and then they go away, and they won't leave us alone. We're closing. That's
crazy.
I've had 3 independent people tell me the same story.
Oh, wow. There
And
you
I'm
go.
like, oh, well,
Wow.
that could be apocryphal and just complete bullshit, but that's what I heard.
It was a good store while it was open. In the early days,
I liked it.
I remember playing cam games there.
Yep.
Those were crazy days.
Yep. And they made a chicken and noodles that they actually, when they were still making food,
It was really good.
that was phenomenal. And it was like $8, and I'd eat the shit out of that. And I don't know why they'd stop. And I like your lantern ring. I just saw it glinting
same
in
here.
the light. I thought it was wonderful.
I remember the day you
stuff.
about threw what's this dude over a table when he yelled at Nikki.
Yeah, a little bit.
It-
all right. We get protective.
I was there, and he was there, and a dude was there. I won't mention his name because he's somebody else. And so
Because he's somebody.
it's true. And
It is true.
He started yelling at Nikki, and we both stood up at the same time, and he immediately backed down because he knew one of us was willing to take a DA to throw him.
Yeah.
And I was going to let him have this one because I already had one, and I didn't need another one right now.
Yep. I was going to hit him with a chair.
And and I just stood back and was like waiting to catch him because it's going to happen.
And it wasn't these little flimsy folding chairs. They were like the heavy wooden chairs.
Oh, yeah.
The kind where you hit them and it'd be like, crunch. Ooh, the chair, it didn't break. Yeah, I know, right? That poor guy's going to need an ambulance.
He got DA'd that day, and then they came back at us, and then didn't DA us, but we're talking about it for a minute.
Right. Well, they came back at us, and I went, that guy was being a douche, and he needed to be thrown out. And I was about to hit him in the face with a chair. Could have been worse, right? And they were like, that's a reasonable.
Well, and I
logical
said my
argument.
piece, which was that he was yelling at her, and I stood up and was waiting to see what happened next. Because if he got in her face, I was going to remove him from her face.
Yeah,
And
it
then
all
they're
went
like,
kinds of
okay.
happy. And they went, oh, well, that's okay. Well, and the horrible part, they let me talk. And I was like, that's okay. That's every mistake. If you're a gamer, don't let that happen.
Don't do that.
No, it's true.
The golden rule. I remember Barry Welling.
Well, and I
Very
had
willing.
you do most of the talking for that whole thing. Even for me, it's like, well, what did Kelly do? Well, what did Kelly say he do? He said he just stood there. No, Kelly actually really just stood there.
Oh, yeah, really.
You could see him tremble with anticipation because he was getting ready to do
Because
something.
he was about to kill him. And it was all kinds of good. Now, I remember Barry Welling put together, and we love you, Barry, put together a 12,
Speak for yourself, dog.
a 12-man hit squad to kill my character.
I do remember that
one
day,
of the
though.
games. And I rounded the corner and went, eek, and turned to run.
Whoa.
3 of them were there already. The other 9 descended upon me, and I backed up with my, this was the IUPUI lecture hall, and I backed up with my back against the wall and the semicircle of people, the mob that was about to destroy me. They were going to kill me.
I remember this.
And I went, wait a minute. And enough of the crowd went, huh? And I went, aha. And those 3 words, I was like, let me tell you what happened here. And this is the thing, and this is the thing. And then they were like, really? We should get that guy and kill him, right? The guy that hired him. It was like, and Barry comes around the corner. And I don't know if it was in
Don't
character
let him
or
talk.
not. And he went, oh, you let him talk? I distinctly told you not to let him talk. And wandered off. It was phenomenal. And I just kind of smiled like, yeah, they did.
I'm gotten to the point where anytime I play in a LARP, I take an auto out power, like Form of Mist or something.
Right.
Because eventually somebody wants to wipe my character out because he's an asshole, much like me.
Again, I have the 10-point flaw played by Scott Troiano.
Do you think that's a flaw?
And I really think that the starting character should be like, well, what we're going to do is we're going to come into the city and we're going to kill Scott's character. Why? Because it's Scott.
Have you
I
met me?
can't, and I'll go, well, I can't argue that. That's sound logic. So
Have you
right then
met
and
me?
there,
I mean,
that's
come
what
on.
should
I have
happen.
that flaw.
Yeah, you do.
Even worse.
A little bit, yeah. Well, and you've gotten much better.
People
It's
have
been a wonderful
rolled
thing.
into town from out of state to kill my characters.
Yeah, this is true.
I played Sabat for many, many years. I was the Black Hand commander of the whole Midwest in the Sabat.
Which, by the way, I think you just took as personal license to be a dick.
No,
I don't hear you denying it.
maybe.
Okay, all right.
But no, I didn't mess
There
with
we are.
anybody, and I tried to do a good job of it, and I missed a call up because I was busy in real life and didn't get the call up, and so they sent a hit squad after me, and it was literally 10 Black Hand assassans.
Oops.
And the leader of the Midwest with orders to have him give up his blood or kill him if he tries. To leave. And I looked at it and I looked at everything and I was like, well, I could get out of here because I have enough powers to go poof.
Yeah.
But whatever.
That's all good.
I'll give it up. Well, I got a service award for the society of that one.
Nice.
And then they kicked me out about 6 months later.
Oh,
Jesus.
well, that sucks. That's kind of buzz. So what do you drink, John?
What do I drink?
Yeah, you never
I
told
don't
us.
really drink that often, but I prefer scotch and whiskey. Although I also like wine.
Do you like bourbon?
Yeah, I like bourbon just fine.
Okay.
So what do you drink with, the others?
I wait to see what she's having.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm with someone
I
special.
mean, she's just pounding, tequila straight out of the bottle. Then you're like, I guess I need a straw. I don't know.
No, I'll go shot for shot with tequila. I love tequila.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Really?
Good tequila or shitty tequila?
No.
Shitty tequila.
Either or.
All right.
Don't do that.
Now,
What?
I was-
Shitty tequila?
Yeah, don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
You got a
That shit'll
fifth of
wreck
Jose.
you,
We'll
son.
that
have
was
a
my
good
drink.
night.
That was my drink from college days. So
Really? You're a
okay.
tequila guy.
Yeah.
Do you get violent or grumpy?
No,
I get loud.
Even better.
Man, I get loud.
Yeah.
I get super mellow on tequila, which everybody would think that's
weird.
totally opposite
Yeah.
of how I would act.
so
I'm a
this
gi- I'm
this
a
is a
giddy
good crowd. So you're what?
I'm a giddy drunk.
You are.
You are. You have fun.
Whoa,
I got-
wow, what was that? That sounded like disdain for a minute.
No, it was cute. It
I'm
was a
the,
little
I'm
pat
the
on the
mother-
head.
I'm the life of the party.
You are.
You are.
You're
You
so
have a good
cute.
time.
Thank you.
So let me add. So
it's your
okay.
party.
Wait.
It's a party
Cry
of
if he
one.
wants to.
Shut
He
up.
wants to cry
if he wants to.
You
Rico
can cry
is
too
probably
if it
happy he's
happened
not
to
here
you.
'cause of this stuff.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
If
What
you'll
is wrong
excuse
with
me,
you?
I'm going to go take my life now. I will see you all later. No, I'm just.
Okay, but
Good rendition.
if you're gonna do that, you have to be playing the MASH theme song.
Oh, I have it on my phone.
You mean like from the
Suicide
movie,
is Painless.
Suicide is painless.
Yeah. Okay.
It brings on many changes.
Okay.
It's a dark song.
Yeah.
I can't remember all the lyrics, but it's dark.
I know all the
Alrighty.
lyrics.
Okay, so
by
now let's
heart.
go on to something that's not as depressing and horrible.
Yeah.
So, John, you said that was your drink in college. That was your go-to.
Yeah.
So everybody has one. What's that drink that you just can't? I can't do that anymore because insert story here.
Mandarin vodka.
Mandarin vodka?
I want to hear this one. This will be great.
Really?
Any Mandarin vodka? I mean, it took me years to be able to tolerate orange-flavored Kool-Aid.
Wow.
Orange Gatorade. The smell of it would make me start to gag.
Oh, jeez.
Holy
Went out to a party out in the middle of, the West Side.
West
known as-
Side?
That's right. known
you.
as in Plainfield, Indiana. In a
Plainfield, there, where they have
bonfire
nothing to do but ruin their brains.
We don't even claim Plainfield.
right.
That's terrible.
We don't even claim that part of town.
It was a,
With a bonfire, that's just you're building a recipe towards success.
Oh yes, and apparently this bonfire was celebrating a Indiana State high school record breaker, and his coach happened to be there and supplied the alcohol. Imagine this thing happening.
Nice.
Right, coach is supplying alcohol. I've never seen this before in my life. I can't imagine that would even happen.
No.
So, of course, there's girls there, and, a guy a little bit about Josh's size. I like how whenever they're like, hey, it's a bigger guy, we look at Josh. We're like, good, Josh's size.
No shit.
You
Come
know,
on.
comes out there, and we're taking these little shots, and then we decide, hey, it'd be manly is if we just take the little popper, the little stopper thing out of the
Right
top
out of the bottle. Yeah.
and just pass it back and forth.
Oh, jeez.
And after a couple of minutes, I realized that there was nothing left in the bottle. And this is a large bottle. I couldn't tell you alcohol sizes. I'm not that
Nice.
smart. It's the one you can fit underneath your jacket and walk out of CVS without paying for it, without having any issues.
Right,
So I'm
got
pretty
it,
sure,
got it.
yeah, that was the kind. So, I looked at the bottom of that bottle, and I looked at him, and I looked at a couple of my friends that were there, and I said, I'm either going to puke or I'm going to die. Because things were really starting to get blurry.
Oh, jeez.
I remember things being in slow motion, and I thought that was fun because that's the first time that's ever happened. And I would throw myself back and be in slow motion, but the thud would happen. And I didn't necessarily feel it, but I knew it happened. Somewhere in my mind, I'm like, dude, you're really just throwing yourself on the ground backwards. Stop doing it.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
like
So
Jason, there's a dart in your neck, man. It's right dart
exactly.
in your neck.
that's right.
right.
Stop it.
Yeah, it was a bad, terrible story. It just got worse from there. Tearing up my own car, tearing up my house. It was bad. It's just bad.
That's crazy.
Bad
But-
news
Wow.
bears.
But at the end of the day, anybody who's ever had too much vodka, you'll understand that there's some bodily functions that you no longer control when you have a vodka overload. And it is very bad. And for those of you that have experienced this, my deepest sympathies. For you that have not, go f*** yourselves. I mean, edit.
That's funny.
Mandarin. So you don't want any of that in your stocking for Christmas,
Yeah, no, thank you.
I
appreciate
know
it.
the ultimate gag gift for this dude.
Yes.
right? So the reason why I asked this question is so that we can make a list for Christmas time.
Right.
We can have a gift exchange. Everybody will open it and go, here, take this.
I used to be that way with Tullamore Dew, but I got over it.
Yeah?
But there was a long time when I couldn't drink it again.
Why? What happened?
So my last year in college, I moved apartments. I was at Williamsburg on the Wabash up in Lafayette, and I had real jerks for my downstairs neighbors. They were freshmen, or not freshmen. They were new to college, but they were drinking all the time. They were partying all the time. And, I yelled at them a couple times because I had to get up early or I had to go to school early. And
Hey, knock it off.
and, I realized one day that I
It's
was being...
Tuesday night. Stop it.
Yeah, but I realized one day that I was being like that stereotypical, you drunk kids.
Get off my lawn.
So then I just hit upon this idea of what if I make them my friends? So I went and I bought a bunch of alcohol and I show up at their door one night when they're partying. I'm like, hey, it's your upstairs neighbor. And they were shocked. They were literally like, what are you doing here with alcohol? And I'm like, hey, man, can I join you? Can we hang out? And they're like, sure.
You brought booze, of course.
They were nervous because they're like, why is he here? Is it poison?
Is he
Nice.
Is he a cop?
Is he a serial killer?
No, I don't really.
There it is.
I don't remember all that happened because we drank a lot. And we went to the liquor store that was just down the street. We came back with like 3 bottles of Tullamore Dew because one of us started shouting, Tullamore Dew! In that drunken state, everything's funny.
Right?
So we
So what
drank.
does Tullamore do?
I don't even know what that is.
It's a whiskey.
Okay.
It's
all right,
fair.
all
I mean, it's good.
All right.
Okay.
Nothing special.
Right.
But
yeah.
no, that was the one time I've ever encountered waking up drunk.
Oh, jeez.
Where I woke up the next morning and I got out of bed and I'm like, oh crap, I'm still drunk. Oh, I gotta go to work in an hour. Well, I'm still really drunk. And I didn't throw up or anything.
I'd have called in drunk.
But I literally was just like, oh crap, I can't get out of this. Well, let's go to work. And I went through the hangover at work.
That's
So-
terrible.
Where were you working? I mean,
I worked at a bookstore.
Okay, bookstore. You don't have to. Never mind.
What?
Too late. You gave us the name already.
Edit.
I'm pretty sure that the one of the managers there will remember it.
They knew.
Okay. Because during the day, I actually got my sunglasses out and I put them over my glasses because of those bright fluorescent lights. And people are like, "Yeah, I need to buy my books for psych class over there. They're over. You could find them."
You know, there are only two kinds of people that wear sunglasses inside: blind people and assholes.
And drunks.
Just say it.
Well, thank
I was
God I'm
gonna say
going
Corey
blind
Hart,
because I wear my
right?
sunglasses inside all the
He
time.
wears them at night.
Just because.
But no, so anyways, I think I've pulled it off successfully because I'm one of the few people there, and it was nobody else showed up. And right as I'm about to clock out, I hear, "Kennedy, get back here!" And I walk back there thinking that the manager is just going to ask me to do something during the week. So I walk up there, and the manager walks up to me and says, "Save the excuses. We could smell it all day. I don't care that you had fun the night before, but if you show up to work drunk again, I'm going to let you go." And I'm like,
Jeez.
I am so sorry. And I tried to explain to him what happened. He goes, "I don't want to know.
Don't tell me.
I'm not even
I
that
don't
mad,
care.
but you need to go."
Go.
And then he said, "You know what really gave you away?" And I'm like, "No." And he goes, "It was your breath." And then he pulled out this drawer of mints. And he said, like, mints from like an Olive Garden, and it looked like candy you steal from
Wow.
restaurants.
There you
Like as
go.
you're leaving. And he
That's
goes,
awesome.
"Next time, just take like 3 of these and just munch on those during the day." And so, you know, I leave work and I get home. It's about when I get home that I'm like, why does my boss have an emergency drunk breath drawer? Because I'm just sort of like, why?
He's like, I'm not mad you did it. I'm mad that you're not dumb enough to cover it up.
Well, what about you, Jackson? What drink is poison for you these days?
Jägermeister. I can't stand licorice. Screw that.
I can't do it anymore.
Oh, so Zambuca's out for you too?
Get that away from me, you
So
dirty
that's not
whore.
you drank enough of it and then became a human
No,
bazooka.
that's like one time I was like, no, it's like, stop it. But the story one, the worst one, is Captain Morgan.
Really?
Oh, really?
Captain Morgan?
Yeah, I mean, coming up through high school, and Jason can verify this, I never did anything until I got to college.
Yeah, we know.
Wow.
Second time I drank,
We were at Rico's house when you had the giggle fits for 3 minutes in a row. We know you didn't do much in high school. I get
no,
that.
exactly.
I get it.
But anyway, with that, I was out at an offensive lineman party or whatnot, and essentially we were doing drinking games. They're like, "Jackson, you should try this." Nah, I'm good. And they, "What do you drink?" It's like, "I don't drink." They're like, "Well, we'll start you out on Captain Morgan." So they got me a fifth of Captain Morgan and
Oh, jeez.
started just mixing it in with Coke. It's like, I can't even taste this. This is awesome.
Drink it down. Drink it down.
I finished the fifth in about 45 to 50 minutes.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
Within another 45 minutes, I was blackout drunk in the bathroom. One of the biggest offensive
crazy.
linemen picked me up and physically walked me back to my dorm room the next day.
Wow. That's
It was
madness.
yes. I can't even look at Captain Morgan after that.
There you go.
Wow. Very nice.
Horrible.
Did you end up throwing up though?
I didn't throw up once, but I was blackout drunk.
Wow.
Wow.
I always had the standing rule that if you partied with the boys, you went to work with the men. And I always found out that when I went to a party or whatnot, I'd get home, and the first thing I would do was open up that shed door and fire up the lawnmower. And I'd cut the yard. It didn't matter if I was walking and puking. If I got that yard cut, I didn't get nothing was said. And my parents weren't stupid. They were like, "Yeah, there's something wrong with him. He did something last night."
Boy.
But at the end of the day, you get your job done. You take care of what you need to. And then I could go and sleep for a few hours.
But the yard looked perfect.
I was
Damn
going
right.
to say, there's puke piles here and there, but it looked pretty.
It was good for the grass.
The alcohol puke, you're not getting a whole lot. You're like pulling a muscle and nothing's coming out. It's a dry heave action.
One time I did pull a
Nice.
muscle while I was throwing up, and it was like the worst thing ever.
That would be
Oh, my
terrible.
God.
Yeah, I pulled a muscle on my back as I was throwing up, and I'm like, oh God!
So-
I wanted to stop throwing up and deal with my back, but clearly my body had a different idea.
This is like Ace Ventura when he got
Right.
stabbed in both quads.
yeah, it's like ah!
Sorry.
Wow. That's
great-
So Scott,
It's a great
what's
movie
your,
series.
What's your drink of
Hold on
terror?
before we move on to my drink of terror.
Do we have Nana?
No.
I'm good.
What is this, Scott?
This is Josh Jackson.
Why was he giggle fitting?
This goes on for like 2 minutes.
Can you sit down on the floor?
They asked him to sit on the floor.
What the hell, man?
And he goes, I'm good.
You're out of line, man.
What? What was
What?
that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm good. Except with that look.
I was laughing like 3 minutes.
Thanks. You're a peach. Good evening, ladies and
That was a great episode.
And that goes on for another 2.5.
It goes on.
What
Another
the
minute
hell
54.
were you on?
Just right there.
He was high on life.
Yeah, there it is. He's high on life.
Yeah.
We'd had brownies made with love. And it was
Made by Marty.
It was pure love. Made by Marty. It's pure love. It was and that was okay. So that was 3 minutes. I edited down the first 4 minutes,
Truth.
and then the next, it was really good stuff.
That's
So
hilarious.
yeah, we know that. So I have that saved for immemorial.
The very first time I did edibles, I had the best day of my life directly thereafter, because I was at Disneyland.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, and
Very nice.
It was
Happiest place on earth.
It was the happiest place on earth. So Jason, I'm sorry, you had a question.
I was asking you what was your drink of terror.
Mine. No, I can't even.
can't even say it.
Peach schnapps.
What?
Why?
Really? That stuff's easy.
Yeah.
You're easy.
Well,
Yeah.
when you
Well,
get
fair enough.
it in a fifth bottle, right?
Whoa.
Whoa.
There's a lot of peach schnapps.
And you're at Indiana State. Out at a party with a bonfire.
On fire.
All right.
Right? And I was trying to impress a girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything. You get-
Recipe for disaster.
Recipe
Yep.
for doom, right? So I'm trying to impress this girl. We drank the first fifth. We split the fifth, right? And then she's like, well, I'm not really, I like men that can hold their liquor, though. And the second fifth of peach schnapps was produced. Okay. And I was like, well, then I'll just polish this one off by myself. And in like a minute and a half, just because peach schnapps is easy, drank the bottle.
Downed in one.
Oh my god.
It was like downed in two, but sure,
Yeah, right.
I was trying to be, I'm fine here, right? This is all
I'm
good.
tough.
So she was like,
Pop the topper off.
well, that's perfectly fine. Well, let's drive back to the house. And I was like, drive back to the house? And she's like, well, yeah, the house is way over there. They got a golf cart thing. And that's when she produced bottle number 3. I have no idea where this came from.
My gosh.
By the time we made it, now, needless to say,
How
you
deep
know
was
how
her purse?
You know how right? It was this giant duffel bag, right? And it was like bring, like you could hear the bottles just clinking around in it. I had no idea, and
You have a problem.
she did. She had a problem. It was a purse that was big enough to hold the next biggest size out of CVS pharmacy with no questions asked, or so we found out, right? So she then produced the third bottle. And let's put it this way. The bonfire was far enough away from the house to be bonfire-y, but it was not far enough that you needed a golf cart.
Right.
Okay, so it was like in the back of a medium-sized yard.
Right.
Okay. We wrecked the golf cart between the fire and the house.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how that happened. But by the time we got back to the house, I had downed half of this bottle of peach schnapps. And she'd had like 2 sips. Okay. She seemed more coherent than I was. Ish, I guess.
Ish.
Yeah. That's when I needed to use the restroom. It was 1 something. Now, we had been sitting in the golf cart, and we couldn't seem to get my pants off, which should have been a clue.
Right? That's normally pretty easy.
Okay?
Where's the Velcro?
That's normally really simple. And they were tearaways, right? It was like, I don't even know how this son of a bitch.
It's game time.
It was. Dun, 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 dun. And the starting forward for the Chicago Bulls. Do, 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 do. I mean, I was just ready. I was ready to go.
Space Jam.
For this young lady, and
Everybody get up. It's time to slam now.
Then we wrecked the thing and crawled back to the house. I don't know how that, but I got to the front porch and I was like, yeah, well, I'm halfway through this because I'm trying to impress this woman at how much I can drink.
Sure.
And then I was like,
It's a baby alien.
it was. I really was really expecting. I was like, did I have spaghetti today? Because I was expecting John Hurt. Right. I was like, I need to use the restroom.
Is that order?
And so I go into the restroom, and there's the sink. The sink is to the left.
Oh, no. Not the sink.
No, not the sink.
The bathtub.
Then the toilet is after the sink, and then the bathtub is along the back wall.
Oh, terrible.
And I took one step onto the tile of this foot and went, and hit the back wall.
Nice.
Oh, jeez.
My body was like,
evacuate.
I mean, it was just, it was horrible.
Jesus.
So I power shot for the tub and thought, oh dear God, if I can cross the distance, then I won't get any on the floor. So basically, I ran to the bathtub.
You're like Exorcist.
It was so terrible. Ruined just the back wall of it and went and pulled the shower curtain closed.
Yes. That's
that's
perfect.
awesome.
That's the maneuver.
Then turned around,
And walked out.
opened the lid of the toilet, got down on my hands and knees, and began to
Praying to the porcelain god.
It was like the worst half hour of my life.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so 20 minutes in, she comes in, and I sit down, and I've got the lid up, and I lean my head like against the porcelain. And oh my God, it felt so good.
Sweet cold porcelain, help me.
It was so good.
Praying to
And
the porcelain
This
god.
this cute little nothing. She came and she was like, she goes, "Are you okay?"
Oh, jeez.
And at this point, I have been nonstop vomiting for 20 minutes. I mean, it was not even. I'm like vomit, flush, vomit for 20 minutes straight. Right? She goes, "Are you okay?" And I went, and this was what I said. I went, "Wait, let me see if I can do it. Hold on." I went, I'm sitting there with my head against the toilet, and I go, "No, I'm fine. I'm good. Why?" And my body is just dry heaving every 5-6 seconds.
I have allergies.
That's terrible.
And it was no sweet. I'm fine. I'm perfectly okay. Why did you bring me a drink?
I was just trying to pick up this quarter I dropped down here.
And she gave me this look and wandered off.
Oh, that's great.
And so after a half hour, I stopped vomiting. I stopped driving. At like the last 5 minutes, I just laid down on the floor. It was so bad. I should have just drank a bunch of water and then thrown it up, and that would have been fine. But I laid down on the floor and just went, and it was just my body was still like, get it out. And I fell asleep on the floor.
Wow.
And woke up the next morning still on the cold tile, and I was aching. It was horrible. It was, and the only smell and taste that I had was peach mixed with stomach acid. That was in my mouth, in my nose, in my sinuses. Oh, it was
Yes, absolutely.
Never again.
It's terrible.
never again.
right.
It's horribly bad.
Terrible.
Several years later, I am in Western Pennsylvania. I am at a friend of mine's house, a friend of my parents. Bill, your wife's peach pie was fine. It was me. She comes over. She's like, "Oh, we've got a wonderful dessert." And she brings this peach pie, beautiful homemade sliced peaches, the nice thick.
Oh, yeah.
She brings it over my shoulder and crosses to put it in front, and it like that smell.
The brain. Your body's ejecting. Get out. I've been there. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Wild Bill's wife. She's like, I made this pie special. And I didn't know what kind it was. She lit it. I don't know.
No, it's not you. It's me.
I'm allergic to peaches.
Are you okay? I'm like, I'm fine.
Millions of peaches for me.
Oh,
Millions
so
of peaches.
it was
peaches
that's
for
crazy.
free.
Now, the horrible part was that they had all had edibles earlier that day, so she forgot to add sugar to the pie. And no one could eat it, right? Which I wasn't going to. I was going to go anywhere near it. And everybody else was like, she was, okay.
That's a pity.
And then she put it in her mouth. She was like, oh, God, this is awful. And it was so, it was like, I had an out, but literally, like, it went like, and my body was like, no, not again. And it was just bad.
Not today, Satan. Not today.
Oh, so it was just like, so years later, it just, I can't even, people are like, oh, well, you take a little of this and a little of that and a little peach schnapps. I'm like, no. You know what? Can we, hold on. Can we maybe move that back a little bit? And they're like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm fine. Just shut up about it. Yeah, no, it was, because it was, man, and I remember it was the hexagonal.
How do you know the
Tiles.
geometry of this shit?
Because that was the tile was the black and white hex pattern.
was laying there long enough.
Because I was laying there long enough that I was just
It's
like,
there's 3,246
this
sides.
tile is beautiful. I mean, it was just, it was life-giving and cold, and it felt so good, and it was, I even still think about it, and I'm just like,
There's a moment in your life when you've made some very terrible bad decisions.
Bad decisions.
And you're laying on a tile
That's
floor
right. And your
by a
brain-
porcelain toilet.
It's called college, yeah. Yes.
yeah.
Your brain's trying to help you out because you're not going to remember it. So it's almost like a recording device, right? Going through your eyes
Yes.
and trying to suck everything up. For that moment, like, hey, this moment of dumbassery, it's going to one day come back to you, and you're going to need to remember this to not do this again.
Yes.
Oh, man,
because we've
that's
all
good stuff.
been next
Oh,
to the
yeah.
porcelain god and said,
We
I swear to
have.
God, if you pull me out of this
I will
one,
never do it
you
again.
need
I will
this
never-
one. Never again.
This
Never.
asshattery will not continue.
That's right. That's right. And and it takes some time after something like that.
Those 6 little words, I will never do this again.
Right?
Yeah, that was my for me. That was my second year of college there, and I joined the Marine Corps, and then I was coaching youth football, and none of my football games, the kids were not allowed. You have those big, gigantic Gatorade container that you just have the spout at the bottom. You push the button and it fills up the cups. Orange Gatorade was not allowed. Orange Gatorade was banned from the sideline.
No Mandarin.
Everything.
We're just going to put a thing of Tang in there and fill it up with a
lemon
garden
lime.
hose.
Nope. Just lemon lime Gatorade. If that wasn't yellow, it wasn't mellow.
Ooh, that's crazy, y'all.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
You rebelled against a color. That's awesome.
a color, a flavor, a terror.
Man, I'm gonna come back from Florida one day with a big bag of oranges and be like, here you go.
Well,
Here you go, buddy.
today that's not it wasn't an issue, but man, 5 years after that incident, it was it was miserable.
So I'm going to come by and pour shots over ice, 2 or 3 shots in each glass of various colored liquids and be like,
No.
run your nose past each one and tell me what they are. And he'll be like, some sort of whiskey. That smells like tequila. Oh, you found the orange one, huh?
That's right. Gatorade.
Found it.
Oh, that's terrible.
Found it. Alrighty. Well, I think that pretty much does us.
God, I hope so.
I don't know how we got from librarianitarians all the way to what is your drink choice and how you power yacked it out.
So what is your disaster of choice?
What is your disaster of choice, right?
What was that smart move you did to impress that girl? It just didn't go the way.
Yeah, did you ever talk to her
expected it.
again? Did you ever see
You guys,
No.
I actually don't
Yeah.
have a disaster alcohol. I'm pretty
What?
lucky in that regard. I've never
You
had a crazy.
lie. You don't
cheeky
have
night.
any bad stories where you're just like, I really just don't want to be around that liquor? Nothing?
No.
See, and I would
You
have thought
may be Superman.
Yeah, okay.
No, I have disaster stories about
other things,
Oh,
but not
okay.
alcohol.
Fair
All
enough.
right. Well, there we go. I'm tired now from just doing that rendition. My whole core is just like, oh, you took us back there, did you? You son of a bitch.
6-pack.
Sympathy pains, right?
Yeah, sympathy pain. That's exactly what it was. Thanks, Josh. That's wonderful.
I'm
God,
sorry.
we're going to have to do that again. So now here's the question. Do you think we could take everybody's disaster, pour it all in one thing, and then do shots of it and just get little pieces of...
That is the goddamn worst thing
Idea
that ever crossed your lips.
Ever.
Oh,
Because
okay.
we got whiskey, peach schnapps,
Captain Morgan.
Captain Morgan, and vodka, and
No.
no, that
Right,
would-
right.
no.
If you do
Idea guy.
just this half of the table and you do peach schnapps, a Mandarin vodka, that's not that bad. Throw a little Captain Morgan in there.
That could be
that's,
okay.
That's actually not
Hey,
that horrible.
Hear me out. So we have a contest.
Oh, jeez.
Oh no.
And with this contest, it's an elimination. Every time that someone else is eliminated, they have to drink their death drink.
Oh,
And we-
I'm in.
And
Well,
we-
if we're
hey,
gonna do that, I'll take vodka. I'll pair with him as my
hey,
death drink.
and we
'cause-
podcast this.
oh god, that would be
Whatever the
fucking
hell it
great.
is, you make up the contest, and this is like Saw 8. Like, this is horrible.
Well, no. See, what
I'm
I was
actually kind of
thinking-
down. This would be funny.
Well, for a guy who doesn't have a death drink, yes.
No, I could pair up with him on the death drink vodka. I don't like the taste.
Okay.
So no. My thought was, why don't we line up shots of our disaster, and then each round until somebody just can't go any further.
Oh, no.
no,
that would be fun.
We
I would do that.
have to do some sort of competition to keep it lively for the folks
Yeah,
at
I
home.
mean,
Well, no, why don't we just play craps and do it?
at the end of the day,
We got dice. We do dice things. I mean, come on, dice. It's,
It's
an idea.
You know, with something where we're lining it up until you can't go anymore, that means somebody's going to have to take care of somebody. I'm not into
okay, we
taking
can bring
care
one of our
things.
wives. I'm pretty sure they'd
Oh,
do it for
yeah,
us.
Yeah.
No,
but-
that's why we're still married to them, because we know they won't.
Right? Bullshit.
Hey.
I've stumbled into my house and my wife's made sure I made it to the bed.
Well, but that's a little different than. But my thought would be, after that first shot, like 2/3, 3/4 of people are out because it's like, I can't even think about. I have a hard time thinking
Hey,
about that.
It should be something like
Like, hey, peach ice cream. I'm like,
Yeah.
go f yourself. Edit.
gaming with Scott trivia or something weird like
Oh,
that.
that would be fun.
Oh, that would be fun.
Over the last
Trivia
3
shots.
years.
And then you have to face your.
Yeah,
and you have to-
trivia shots. If you fail, you have to face.
I'll
your
give you
death-
that
your
one. I think
drink.
that first and foremost, I will puke on Captain. I promise you all that. As most other people at this table would with whatever drink they
with their
pick.
disaster
Yeah.
choice.
But it's
Yeah.
just that would be horrendous and amazing.
I think that would be that may
We
be a piece of
definitely
radio
have to
we've got to
find-
have.
We'll have to
I
do
feel
that
like
at
I would
private
need
property.
a major handicap for that.
I thought you were going to say
Better start listening.
I thought you were going to say a major handy. I was like, John, take care of my light work.
Whoa.
He said,
That
For
is-
please.
starters,
that's
you didn't
deep.
pay me for the last time I did that.
Oh,
You said my credit was good.
Them's fighting words, dude. You ain't paying for it.
But anyway,
On the house means
that's terrible.
on the
Terrible.
house.
Wow. Okay. So we've dug a pretty deep hole here.
yeah.
There's no way back.
There's
I'm
John-
thinking 10 to 15 seconds of the MASH theme as we head out this
Yeah.
evening. And
Yeah, we've hit North Korea by the way that we're digging.
No, jeez.
I don't remember the MASH theme song.
It's the
but
somber mash theme, like they play at the end after like someone's
yeah, it's like
died.
the end credits.
No, it's Suicide is Painless. It's from the movie.
Yeah, haven't you heard?
Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, but I don't remember because it's been so long.
What?
Well, go
Mr.
watch the
Mr.
movie.
Football?
Alan Alda.
Johnny Football?
He was only in the show, and the show was amazing.
It was.
Although it went on
was.
way too long.
It does. It did.
It did.
Lasted
Speaking
longer than
of-
the war it's based on.
Speaking of,
Speaking of what?
this
MASH?
wrap up has gone on too long
Way
as
too
well.
long.
So I was really glad that we heard that little snippet from MASH that you guys sang.
Okay.
Thanks,
And then
thanks,
I
Obama.
think that'll do it.
and that'll do us today for Gaming with Scott. As always, you'll hear from us real soon. And that'll do us tonight for Gaming with Scott presents Behind the Masks, a Southgate media production. You can always send us an email at gamingwscott@gmail.com or catch us on Twitter. Josh Elliott is at Asmodee369. Dan is at Malkware. Josh Jackson is at ActionJack853. and Rico is at R1CO. Or me, Scott T, at Gaming W Scott. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Gaming W Scott. Remember, superfans, the more you share, the more we make. If you love what we do, share it with your friends. If you don't love what we do, please share it with us. This show will only be made better by listener participation. Send us email or comments on Facebook, or send us a tweet of the things you would like us to discuss. We promise we will get your comments and topics on the air. And as always, you'll hear from us real soon.